Hello, everybody. It's Jazzy, Video Store Sasquatch here for your Throwback Thursday. And we're going to do something a little bit different than we have been doing. We're going to do a little versus here. We have two video game movies. We have Mortal Kombat from 1995, and we have Street Fighter from 1994. The first one we're going to talk about here is Mortal Kombat. It was made in 1995. It was directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. It stars Christopher Lambert as Lord Raiden, Robin Shou as Liu Kang, Lyndon Asby as Johnny Cage, Carrie Hayoki Takawa as Shang Tsu, Bridget Wilson Sampras as Sonya Blade, Taliasu Soto as Katana, and Trevor Goddard as Kano. Basically, we open up with Sonya Blade. She's looking for Kano here. They are in this I get a little haunted island. Like the very cool thing about this movie is the backgrounds and everything. They try to really put it to the video game. We go to Los Angeles. We meet Johnny Cage. We're in a movie set. He goes and he beats up some jabronis here, some goons, and then so we learn about him. And then this is the first little clip we're gonna see where Liu Kang. He's in the temple here, and this is just to kind of give you a feel for the movie. We see Liu Kang here, and we're gonna about to meet Raiden.
The great tournament was too much responsibility. But vengeance, that's so much simpler.
So we do get a point taken away later on in the little game that we're gonna play to have the categories or whatever for Raiden being white. I looked it up. He is a Japanese god. That is not a Japanese god. That is Thor, the god of lightning and thunder, and he is white as hell. I'm gonna go ahead and give you that first example. Whitewashing, probably cinema history. No, I'm just kidding. Definitely not, but it is a common theme. Let's see here. So we get we get a good fight scene here with Lou, Johnny, and Sonya here. They face a bunch of goons. You get the techno music blaring. I didn't really get a good example of that. I should have got a better example of what I got. So you don't really hear it, but the EDM music is constant in this. And the funny thing about the EDM is it could be a serious part, it could be a funny part, it could be whatever part you're gonna have that EDM just straight up, straight blasting at you like you're in a concert, full blown. I don't like it. But if you play the game, that's the game. I mean, it's Mortal. It even says in Mortal Kombat. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the music in the game. So they definitely stayed with that. And then I even went a little further and I saw that this is actually the first EDM record to go multi-platinum with this whole thing, and they actually refused two major music studios to doing the music because they wanted to do classic kind of more on the spot rock music and stuff like that, and they were insistent on the EDM. The director Paul W.S. Anderson here had the vision of the EDM in it. He used it all fight scenes. That all kind of goes back to the game a lot better, which is kind of cool. So we got so we start the tournament here, and we get Liu Kang versus Jabroni. Liu Kang wins. Sonya Blade versus Kano. Sonya Blade just whoops his ass. We get Johnny Cage versus Scorpio, our first fatality, which was kind of cool to see. And then we see another start fatality with Sub Zero versus Kane. And Kang just stops him right away with the help that Princess Katana gave him earlier in the thing. And then this scene was actually way before all this. He kind of doesn't age well, but the cool thing about him is he is practical. He's real. He's a puppet. Um, the guy who plays him or animatrons him is still working today. As a matter of fact, I looked him up and he did a bunch of movies recently. But the big spotlight movie was him in the ape costume and the Zookeeper or whatever. The one movie where Paul Blart's in a zoo, or Kevin James in a zoo. Um, So we get all that. We get a flawless victory from Goro versus Jabroni. We kind of see that. The soul gets taken. It's all cool. It's all we're missing the video game. We get Johnny Cage challenging Goro for it. Liu Kang versus Reptile in between before this challenge here happens. Liu Kang wins. Katana shows Liu Kang around the realm. and just says basically, I warns them like, this is what's gonna happen to you guys if you guys don't stop him. Um, Shang Tsung. Then pretty much he gives Johnny Cage or whoever, whatever happened here. It's just like the threat. Like, I'm gonna choose whoever I want to play. That's why I said this tournament's not really like a bracket style tournament. We're gonna move on and face a guy. Just basically whatever this dude Shang Tsung wants you to happen. He eventually kidnaps Sonya Blade, and then they fight over it. The cool fights and the cool stuff like this about this movie is all the different the scenery. It all ties into the video game. Like all these things you would see in the video game, it's more out there because it's 3D and it doesn't look exactly right. It's like in a movie and it's not a video game at that time period when like it would have been like in 16 graphics or 16 bits or 32 bits. So definitely want to be the same. For video game movie, I gave it a B minus. I'm not gonna tell you the overall grade just yet. We're gonna go back into that if we do the Street Fighter because that is one of the categories of this game. And the thing that I didn't like, I kind of already explained it where I like the music about it. I didn't like, yeah, I mean, I just didn't like the '90s vibe of it. One thing I will say is Bridget Sampras or whatever, Bridget Wilson Sampras. She's in a couple of the movies there. She is the prototypical blonde '90s bombshell body type girl. So it's perfect for she's Sonya Blade in this. Later on in the next movie, we get Cammy, who's something Mahanahe. Kylie Mahanahe. She is also the stereotypical '90s blonde, big boobs, long legs. So that was Mortal Kombat's little quick recap here. We have Street Fighter here now. This was done by Stephen E. D'Souza. It stars Jean Claude Van Damme as Colonel Guile, Raul Julia as Bison, Ming Nguyen as Chung Li, Damien Chepa as Ken, and Byron Morin as Rue. Um, so we start with the GT news. It's about the update at Shibadula, whatever. It's in the Middle East. It's part of, I guess it might be part of the video game. I thought this video game was more of a fighter video game. That's at least what I remember of it. This has a lot of shooting and a lot of different stuff that Nintendo was doing at the time, but it wasn't necessarily, I didn't think was involved in this game, so I'm not sure if they just kind of went and well, especially with the like not retro Nazi uniforms that these dudes are wearing for General Bison. It's kind of funny. There's two guys I want to point out. One guy would have been the huge dude, Andrew Bernowski, Zengriff. He is just coming off of the program here where he stuck his head through the stuff. He was the big dude on steroids. So it's kind of different to see him in a movie. And Miguel A. Nunez, DJ. He is in a bunch of different like '90s movies. You'll see him kind of sporadically here and there. So it was kind of cool to see them in this movie. Raul Julia was Fester from the original Addams Family or '90s. Not the original Addams Family, but the '90s Addams Family, I should say. The original '90s Addams Family for me. We start with the broadcast, like I said. We get Chung Li. We see Guile and him kind of go back and forth Guile and Bison go back and forth through the news program here, and that's where Bison finally gives him the ultimatum. It's give me 20 trillion or 20 billion dollars by 3 days, which even in today that's not gonna happen. Or we're gonna kill all these hostages. Like, I mean that's a lot of money in the '90s. So then we meet these guys. This is where we meet Ken and Rue here after this all kind of settles out here, and they're in the underground Power Club. We're going to show you the scene here where the boss has figured out that the boss Victor Segal, who actually says he is Iron Fist. After all this, talking with Ken before the fight with Rue and his guy, so he's Iron Fist. We see anyway. So this is him. He figures it all out. Let's just watch this real quick.
Have already unloaded the truck and brought the weapons here. What's the matter, gentlemen? Surely you're not afraid of your own weapons. Preto! Salumo! Papo!
See, that's one of the major problems with this movie here is you see the kind of campiness in it. For some reason, with these '90s movies, their campiness is either like, dude, we're gonna blow you up, or like we're gonna freaking beat you up with a banana and it's gonna be funny. Like, there's no real in between, like stuff like that. There's like, we got naked gun or we got lethal weapon. So there's not a lot of mixes. It's like people had to know, hey, this is a comedy, this is serious, and we couldn't really mix them a lot. So you get kind of random scenes like this in this movie. So we go from there. As soon as the fight's about to start between Iron Fist Dude and Rue, the wall implodes, and General Guile arrests everybody. This is where we meet. This is where we see General Guile's plan. General Guile's plan is just basically to have these guys, Ken and Rue, infiltrate Bison's headquarters using Vincent Segal operation here. So that we have this prison break scene, and then all of a sudden we find out that General Guile dies, and this is Bison's reaction to it.
That's great news, General. Congratulations.
On the contrary, I mourn.
Okay.
I was hoping to face Guile personally on the battlefield. One gentleman warrior to another, in respectful combat. Then I would snap his spine. Ah!
So he pretty much wanted to kill himself here, and he decided to do that. Kind of funny. It kind of leads to the humor is I like Fester out here. It's like a bad guy Nazi Fester Adams. um, that's probably why this movie doesn't have like the pedigree that like some of these comic book movies have. Like this movie kind of it was under the radar. Like, oh yeah, it happened. And what's funny is if you think about a Luke Cage as John Van Damme. Van Damme signs up for this dumb movie, and it could have been in Mortal Kombat. It probably would have been way better, but we're not gonna go into that. All this happens. We have the big rescue scenes. I'm saying we get a lot of shooter. We don't ever really get a lot of fighting scenes. Like, man, like this is a tournament, dude. I thought this was like a fighting game. Like, we need to see action. The one time we do get this stupid fight is they banter back and forth, kind of like that Big Bang Theory with Wallets and freaking Cuj, whatever his fucking name is. The Indian dude, Kutha we have them arguing and they're like trying to tell Leonard, hey, look at me, we're saying all these cool things and we're not getting down to the fights. So I think that's why this movie didn't. This movie doesn't have the pedigree. This movie doesn't have the history. It's not even really thought of behind. I saw it on Netflix and was like, oh shit, there's a Street Fighter movie. And what's funny is it made $100 million or something like that on the thing if you look at it. So it don't make no goddamn sense why we don't have like Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3. Well, if the movie's so bad, that's why we don't have these movies. um, but I mean, it's not like Mortal Kombat was anything better. You'll see. We're about to do this. So we get to the end. Kyle saves the day. Everyone's happy. We all go home happy. We just sat through a popcorn muncher where clear Nazis have died, and we know that we like killing Nazis over here at the video store. So, how are we going to do this? We are going to split these into 7 categories. We have action, we have fighting, we have relativeness to the game, kind of like how far away do we stray away from this game here. We have an overall grade. We have music, the characters, and the overall production quality of the damn thing. So that's 7 different categories. You could argue action and fighting are the same, and it's not the same. We're talking about running, we're talking about shooting actions, and we're talking about specific fighting, especially since these are goddamn fighting games. And Street Fighter had no fucking fighting. So we'll start with I'm just gonna point here, overall grade. So the overall grade, I'm gonna give a D plus to Mortal Kombat, and I'm gonna give a C minus to Street Fighter. And the only reason I'm gonna do this is because Street Fighter had just this a little bit better quality to it, had a little bit more of a cinema presentation to it, way more of a storyline. There, we saw we did utilize a lot more of the video game aspect. At one point in time, we see him use a video game board. We see him use a video game board there to uh like kill people. So that's cool. I use chips and stuff like that. Um, we also saw the Nerf gun kind of things. Like, so when we're talking about Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat, we're also talking about Nintendo versus Sega. Really, another big thing into that. And when you think about Nintendo, you think about campy and stuff like that. So we have a lot of campy scenes, the stupid Nazis and stuff like that. So that's why we got a little bit overall C minus to D plus. I mean, we're talking barely. Like if we were gonna grade this motherfucker, we're talking a 69 for Mortal Kombat, a 71, probably 70 for fucking um, Street Fighter movie. All right, let's see what's the second one. We'll do characters. Characters. So immediately got to take a point away from Mortal Kombat for a white rating. But the one thing that Mortal Kombat did do better at the characters was introduce them to you, one, and two, they didn't try and do too much away from it. Like Street Fighter, we have this whole thing where Charlie or Billy or Joe or whatever his fucking name is, and you can't even look them up in the IMDb because they use three different goddamn names for it. Watch the goddamn movie. We and they turn him into a Hulk too using these drugs and it's just stupid nonsense. So yeah, the Mortal Kombat wins the series there. So we are tied 1-1. We will go to production quality. Production quality has got to go to Street Fighter. Way better. It looks clear, looks crisper, looks like it's supposed to look as a movie. We have way cooler outfits with the Nazi guys. They didn't do my dude Sub Zero and Scorpion dirty by making them look stupid and getting their ass beat. So they go ahead and win with the production there. We have Street Fighter up 2-1, and we'll go to music. Street Fighter. Um, got goddamn EDM music. Like you might like it. If you like it, you're gonna like Mortal Kombat, and that's fine. But fucking fuck the EDM music. So 3-1 Street Fighter. Relativeness to the game. I gotta go with Mortal Kombat here. Um, they're, I mean, it's that tournament. Like that's all it is. It's Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat wins. Fighting. Gotta go Mortal Kombat here. Way better fight sequences. The backgrounds look like the game itself from all this stuff. So definitely gonna go Mortal Kombat. So right now we are tied 3-3. We have one more um, category, and that is action. And I'm gonna have to go with Mortal Kombat. And I'm gonna go with Mortal Kombat. I know there's more action in Street Fighter. There's guns. There's all this stupid shit. But we're talking about straight up fighting games from Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, and for straight up fighting action and all that stuff. We got the fatalities, we got the flawless victories, we got everything that makes Mortal Kombat great. Every time you beat your friends back in the day. I think about this game would have been back in the arcade game, so we would have had to pay a quarter every time, put the quarter on for the next guy. A little bit older than me. I go a little bit next generation where you get keep the sticks. And then when you really dominate your opponents with keep the sticks at the house, you got to go through twice. So now you gone through twice. Now you got to go ahead and go and pass those sticks. Someone else gets shot and you don't get them back pretty much because no one wants to face you. You've already beat everyone twice. Ain't no reason for anyone to face you. Nowadays we get the stupid online stuff. It's fine. Go ahead and shoot your guys' self. That's cool. The reason why we're doing these video game movies this week is we're gonna go see Borderlands on Sunday. I don't know the game very well, but see, I don't know Street Fighter very well. About I would tell you this fucking movie was not nowhere near about Street Fighter. I didn't know it so well that I watched the movie and I was so confused on what Street Fighter was. I had to go back and watch the stupid thing on the thing to make sure I was right about Street Fighter. So we got Borderlands Sunday, which will be our Monday morning review. I have Silent Hill tomorrow for the horror movies, which is another game that I'm not very familiar with, but I'm very familiar with the movie, and the movie is very good. And then we have Uncharted at the end of our for streaming Saturday, which barely takes a cut with 2022 when we're going 2 years back. Here it is with Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, and we're doing that for streaming Saturday, and that's pretty much the rest of our week here. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment some more video game movies for me to watch that you guys like. Maybe some video games you like. Have a good rest of your night. Have a good rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section, and see you next time in the cave.